Hey everybody, Blugoblin here for a special edition comic book review. I guess you would call it that. This is my first one. I'm going to be doing two for my main channel here. I apologize for it being a little dim in here. I thought I'd try to get some natural light, and I had to shut that curtain because before I started the video, the glare from outside on that window over there made me look like I was glowing, and it didn't look right. So I had to, even though I didn't want to, I had to shut that curtain because I like sunlight to get in here. The sun's not shining very well, but anyway, I'm rambling. I got two special edition comic book reviews to do here. The first one, I'm going to be talking about three of the books that I got from my probably my best friend here on YouTube, my student, TheMtVernonKid. I got him from Midtown Comics, and in my second video I'm going to be talking about the 3 issues of The Spider that I got from him. So without further ado, I'm going to get started with a DC book. We're going to start off with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe #1. Alright. Don't know how well you can see it, but I love that cover. That cover is just awesomely gorgeous, and yeah, Chris was right. It was done. That looks very Ed Benes like. So yeah, Keith Giffen and Pop Mahan. I probably butchered the dude's name. But okay, this is a new start to the He-Man comic book series. He-Man's just gone through so many series, so many miniseries, one-shots, annuals, whatever, from DC, and this is another start to a He-Man series. Now, a friend of mine that lives not too far away from me let me borrow his He-Man series prior to this. I got to see what was going on. Had some really big revelations, like Skeletor is He-Man's uncle, and Orko was the one who betrayed everybody, which really shocked me. But I think this takes place after that. In here was where we see Teela with her trademark red hair for the first time, because I believe she was blonde in the previous series. And I gotta say, I freaking love Teela in this issue. I've loved Teela's character throughout these past couple of series with He-Man. She's your friend, but she'll easily tell you to fuck off. It's just great. I love this character. She kind of reminds me of Starling, from the Birds of Prey. She kind of does. Prince Adam is not quite as he was in the cartoon, thank God, and he's not wearing any pink. He looks more believable in this sense here. And God, as a child of the 80s, this was a refreshing read. I loved this. Not much to talk about as far as story goes. Eternia is talking about the passing of a certain character from that we are all familiar with as big He-Man fans. I'm not going to ruin who that was, but we learned what her name was, and I'm not going to ruin that either. But He-Man's father is giving a speech, and Teela's just standing there going, God, I just want to get out of here. This speech is going to be long. And they're like, you know the king, he loves these kind of speeches. And she's just like, damn it, I love it. She's so impatient. She wants to be done with it and move on. And her and Adam's friendship in here is just so well done. Their connection is so nicely well done. It's like they love each other, but they just bicker like children. It's just great. Love it. And I chuckled really heavily at the part where Teela is taking her clothes off. I mean, she's dressed ceremoniously, formal, I guess, in a sense, formally, to attend this speech by the king. And they're walking toward her room, and she's not even in her room yet. She's already stripping. She's taking her clothes off, and she's like down to her underwear. Yet, yet her and Adam and Man-at-Arms are still just having a normal, typical conversation. They're like, big elephant in the room. She's getting naked, and they're still just casually talking to each other like she's not doing that. It's just funny. I just can't help but notice that. This character in here, oh shit, I gotta cheat a little bit. I've forgot what they said this character's name was. The name of the villain. Supposedly Hordak's daughter. What was the name they gave her? Hang on. Good character though. I love the artwork in here. Despara. This character's name is Despara, and she's forged an alliance with somebody. I'm not going to ruin that. I'm not going to ruin who it is, but she's attacking Eternia. She wants to attack Eternia and take everybody, and she's warned about He-Man, and she's got this attitude, is like, I could take him. So she attacks the castle. Everybody gets caught off guard a little bit about it, and He-Man does that big, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power shit, and hold on, I'm such a geek, I gotta show it off. Of course, we gotta have a whole big page spread of a whole page dedicated to He-Man transforming into He-Man. We got to have a whole page of that. And the ending sees Despara going up against He-Man and Teela. He-Man's like, standing his ground. He's not attacking, and Teela's just like, kill her, kill her, kill her. And Despara's mask falls off, and we see on the very last page who she is. Oh! I can't spoil who it is. Oh my god, my jaw dropped. My jaw dropped when we saw who it was. I am such an 80s nerd. I could not believe it. I can't. I can't spoil who it was, but I think you should put two and two together and find out who it was. I'm running short on time. I got to pick this up. Alright. Next up, I'm going to do a double shot here. Mega Man number 24 and Sonic Universe number 51. This is the first two parts of the Worlds Collide crossover that crosses over Mega Man with Sonic the Hedgehog. It's like, as a kid, as a fan of old school games, a kid who grew up with old school games, this is like Nintendo versus Sega, or Nintendo works, or Nintendo Sega team up, because when I grew up, Mega Man was on the Nintendo Entertainment System and Sonic the Hedgehog was on the Sega Genesis. It's basically NES working with Sega, and that's pretty much what got me interested in the story. And I want to once again thank Chris for getting me on here. But the first two parts is basically setting up everything. The first part shows Dr. Robotnik. I fucking hate the name Dr. Eggman. I hate that name. I still call him Dr. Robotnik, even though this Eggman is not the original Dr. Robotnik, because in Sonic issue number 50, years and years ago, the original Dr. Robotnik was killed, and he was replaced by a robotic copy who calls himself Dr. Eggman. I don't care. I still call him Dr. Robotnik. But we see Robotnik and Dr. Wily, how they came across each other. And it was actually pretty damn clever. And the whole issue basically tells the story of how those two came together and what they're working in. They now have like the Skull Egg Zone, and then they have the new Death Egg. They call it the Wily Egg. And the Mega Man issue ends with a big shock. As for me, I'll go ahead and spoil it because this book's kind of old now. Tails gets roboticized and is now working with both Robotnik and Wily as Tails Man. And that was the big shock. But it also ends on a big cliffhanger that starts off in this Sonic Universe 51, in which we see the cause of the misunderstanding we find out what the misunderstanding was that led Sonic and Mega Man to start fighting each other at the beginning of the story. Of course, it's Mega Man's evil clone Copybot that attacks Sonic, and Sonic's evil clone Mecha Sonic that attacked Mega Man, and that caused the big misunderstanding that's got them fighting each other. It's a cliche, that kind of plot has been done before, but for this, I'll let it pass. The other big shock is that Sonic's friends, all of them have been roboticized, and he's got his hands full with Mega Man, while Robotnik and Wily, their evil plan continues to grow. Both these issues were really fun to read. I really enjoyed them. But out of those three, this definitely got my attention. So, there you have it. There's the end of my first comic book review special. I give He-Man and the Masters of the Universe #1 an easy 4.5 out of 5. Not perfect, but damn close. I give Sonic Universe 51 a 3.5. I give Mega Man a 3.5. Above average, but still, it's meant mostly for fun reads. So there you go. My first comic book review special for Midtown Comics. Thanks again for watching. The next video will be up soon, I hope, in which I'll be talking about the spider. So until then, I'll see y'all later.